Yo, Steve, what's up? Yo, what up? I already left. Perfect, we're all on time, aside from Nav.
It's New York City, man. This is the mecca of nightlife. Industry talk, industry talk, industry talk. This is industry talk. This is industry talk.
Live and direct, baby, on the ones and twos.
It's not talked about enough. The mental psyche of a DJ traveling alone, the bottle girls, the bus boys. What specifically can you take out of nightlife that will allow you to find a job later on in life? No,
Industry.
Yeah, but it's something to talk about.
It matters. It really matters.
Those people are trying to put us on more than we're trying to put each other on. Boom. That was my answer. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
And we out.
One.
There's not a shelf life to this game. There's just the shelf life that you set for yourself.
We here, man, Industry Talk with Big Ben.
And I'm here with the Jason Experience.
We are here at Industry Talk.
This is Industry Talk.
It's the Kid Daytona, and I'm out here with the Jason Experience.
This isn't a pizza you put in the microwave at 3 minutes and you come back and it's ready. It takes time. It took me half a decade to just be relevant.
You are now rocking with the Jason Experience.
Oh,
Young and from the project, fuck around and got it poppin'. I'm like, fuck a Maserati, but my bitch a Bentley
you
truck.
want to do it already? Anyways, this is the Funktion House. This is Industry Talk. I'm here with DJ Marty. I got my whole cast here with me. I got my whole live audience. Super excited to be here. First, I gotta say thank you, Mr. Jan. I'm super excited for these guests too, man. I got a great run of guests coming up. Got a bunch of GMs in New York City. I got one of New York City's top DJs here. We're having that 4 a.m. crew, my extended family. Yeah, we just have a great show coming up. And a couple things to give you guys updates on that we have coming on to the show in the future. A big difference in the show that we wanted to add to Industry Talk here in Red Hook in the Function House, as opposed to what we had before. Apparently we have a mic change going on. Apologize for that. So I'm just using this one now? Just this one? Okay. That's good. Hold on, let me get it. Anyways, as I was saying before I had to change mics, this is the Function House. So as we come into Red Hook, as we come into this new field, we do want to take things differently. So it's going to be a lot more more unfiltered and a lot more opinionated, I'd say. That being said, I want to welcome a special guest to the show, a woman that I've known for a long time in nightlife, a woman who's also mentored me through a lot of rough times. She's a general manager, she was a VIP host, she was also a bottle girl. She's done a lot of things in nightlife. Please welcome Miss Emma M.
Young and from the project, fuck around and got it poppin'. I'm like, fuck a Maserati, but my bitch a Bentley truck. G5 my blood brother, he be throwing these up. And me, I got shit else sweat. You know I be seed up. I pay cash for every cup. You still be the
Gotta love Lil Baby. I think we'll play more Lil Baby on the show than Terminal 5. So you've been in nightlife for how long now?
What year is it? 2019? 13 years.
13 years in nightlife.
13 years.
I haven't had Netflix for 13 years. That's a long 13 years.
Yes, very long.
And you don't look like you've been in 13 years in nightlife.
I feel like it sometimes.
Sometimes. I feel like everybody in nightlife that's been a general manager has a type 1 personality. That's their personality. Do you feel like that's a family thing that you see across the board in your family, or just something that you picked up yourself?
No, I stick out for my family. I think I get some traits from my mother, but I think this is also gained things. This is over the course of time, this is kind of who I've evolved into based on work.
Where was the first gig in nightlife that you got?
Webster Hall, 2006.
Webster Hall's not even open. For you youngins at home, by the way, Webster Hall isn't even
not
open
even
anymore.
open.
But back in the day
Yes.
when we were rocking out the teen nights, so you were a general manager there. What was your first position?
My first position was guest list.
Okay.
Then I became the door manager. From there, they brought me inside, and I did some like executive assistant work, liquor management, and then kind of transitioned into I was what they call the bridge from the day to the night. And so I worked the nights as manager, and then one day they were like, hey, we need you to be the GM. So I was like, all right, cool, let's do it.
Do you feel like because you did start from the bottom, everything became so much easier because you weren't just inserted at that role at a high
Right. I think at that point I knew so many different areas that it made sense. I also, because it wasn't just the initial jump from one drastic move from guest list to GM, I gained the respect of all the staff, and so they saw the come up, So along the ride with me, it was all love and all respect, and they were really proud of me.
Do you feel like a lot of times that GMs just get inserted from, oh, she's a bottle girl, she's selling X amount of money, let's just make her a general manager, or let's just take her from the floor manager and make him a manager because he was a floor manager?
I've seen it. It doesn't happen all the time, but I've seen it. And
Often?
it's questionable.
Often? It's
I
often?
plead the fifth.
Now, what? Give me a rundown of some of the clubs that you did general manage.
I've been a general manager at Webster Hall, Hudson, Highline, more or less, because they're, the turnover there. You already know.
Highline Ballroom reminds me of
Highline
that.
Ballroom also closed. Yes,
Number one.
closed.
Before we just move on to Highline. Highline Ballroom reminds me of the girl that paid like $500,000 to get all her friends in, all her kids in to USC. The girl from like Full House. That's what Highline reminds me of. It's just 500 people from Long Island trying to get into a venue.
And Jersey.
I love my Jersey people though, and my Long Island people though as well.
Bridgerton.
You also get into talent management.
Yes.
Tell me how you got into that space.
So because I had worked mostly in Webster Hall and kind of gained some sort of relationships with like the radio station DJs and promoters, kind of helped me to network to other things. My name started to come up in more things, more events, more clubs. They saw me managing a lot more. And so Funkmaster Flex was looking for an assistant and asked like 3 promoters if they knew anybody, that knew the clubs, knew promoters, knew what was going on, female, organized, and could, help him out. And all 3 of them separately said my name. So one of them got in touch with me and said that Flex wanted to meet you at the station. He wants to talk to you about a possible job. Came out of nowhere, so I went to the station, met him, and started working with him the next week. Flex is Flex, so he doesn't need me to book him places. But I was just kept his calendar managed, kept him up to date with what was going on downtown, uptown, stuff like that. And
kind of like eyes and ears as well as an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like in nightlife, no matter what position you have, you always end up doing somebody else's position for them as well?
Yeah.
It's like one second you're GM, next second you're coat check lady, door person, GM, and bottle girl.
But that's what makes you a good GM, because you're not scared to jump into the busser's position and help them out. That when you see that the coat check is all fucked up, that you jump back there and you help out. You do what you got to do to make shit work.
Let's talk security for a second. I know this is a tough subject. I'm not going to go too deep into the whole security thing, but I do want to get into. You have a celebrity night, right? You've managed a lot of nights with celebrities. How hard is it to keep a balance between what the celebrity wants and not getting the club's pride stepped on? Meaning not just bending over and getting fucked in the asshole by every single celebrity that comes inside because they're a celebrity. Now let me give you a little example.
Yes.
You have a celebrity come to your club, right? He's there with 4. You told him to come with 4 or 5 people. He comes with 30.
Yeah.
Now you can either not let him in and he keeps his other half, or you either let him in with 35 people, let him bully you into losing 3-4 tables because you can't give him one table with 30-40 people. What's the decision you're making?
You cap it off. Entourage, 10 to 15 people tops. Anybody else, they got to go through the front door and they got to pay.
Experience in that field. What's been your experience?
I feel like when you say 10 to 15 people, they tend to be okay with it. I have seen people not be okay with it, but it's a balance. You're letting him in, you're letting some of his friends in, but there has to be a middle ground where he has to compromise, she has to compromise, whoever. But it's also, as you were about to say something about security also has to like fully back that and like make sure that doesn't happen without getting too aggressive and having things escalate.
Have you ever had security confront you not knowing you were a GM? Let's say you have a new security on the shift. You're a little girl that walks into a club. Nobody knows who you are without the radio.
Yes, but not like in a
Aggressive way.
not too aggressive. Just like, hey, who are you? And I'm like, I'm a manager.
Do they ever give you that look? I feel like a lot of people in this business that are not females, when they become a GM, they don't respect the female. They don't respect the female GM as they respect the male
I say
GM.
pretty sternly. They pretty much know, and typically there's somebody around there who's like, no, that's the manager. When you have a good, smart head of security, they walk them around and let them know who the managers are.
Have you ever had to? So I do walkthroughs in clubs all the time. You know, I come in and I go. That's basically my thing. I don't have time to stay for too long, so I come in, I check the room out for 20, 30 minutes. And when I do that, I realize that a lot of the times, that's basically what a general manager does as well, because you're flying through the floor back and forth. And I have general managers come to me as a promoter, be like, "Hey, Jay, the DJ you booked today is shit." And I'm like, "Bro, you've been going in and out of this venue, fucking all fucking night, back to the bar, having a shot with that girl, doing this all fucking night. You haven't paid attention to this guy. You got one complaint from a 74-year-old client who hasn't listened to the Migos in 4 years. So what am I supposed to do as a promoter to now explain to you that, hey, maybe you haven't been listening to the whole set? Or should I just trust you and be like, all right, fuck it, let me fire this guy?
If I told you that? Because I've told other promoters that they're DJs.
Well, you haven't told me that.
Well, you're lucky, because I've told other promoters.
No, I'm not saying I don't agree with you. I'm saying that there has to be a point in time where that's being taken care of. To judge a DJ based off doing a walkthrough from bottle service to your office.
No, I based it off of, I just happen to pay attention to music, and I know DJs a little bit, and I know transitions here and there.
A little bit.
Just a little bit, but I hear a shitty DJ when I hear it. And you can tell. We've had promoters at Hudson that I've literally gone into the booth and been like, "Get out. You gotta get off. You gotta do something."
I mean, it's kind of obvious. If a DJ is killing it, like, you could tell the difference between what bottles are bought and what bottles are promo bottles. Like, everybody knows a promo bottle when you see one.
But
Let's be serious.
It's not all that. But it's the crowd.
Right.
You know, it's the movement of things. You know, like you can if you and I'm sure you've seen me just stand posted up in the club just looking.
I mean, if the DJ is creating revenue, then obviously he has somewhat talent.
Yeah, but before it's even the revenue, it's just the crowd having a good time and vibing on the floor.
100%. I mean, you got people at the bar bopping their head.
Absolutely.
You got your bottle clients are actually staying there.
It's a domino effect.
Yeah.
The DJ plays a major part. I feel like busboys, DJ, and barbacks are like three most underrated things.
Steve, add that to the list of questions. 3 most underrated jobs in nightlife. Add that to the list.
Barbacks, for sure. They do so much.
Barbacks, I can agree with 100%.
And the DJ,
all right, can we re-edify that? The opening DJ matters.
No,
because
I agree with you. You know how strongly I agree with you about opening DJs.
I've had opener DJs play like the most poppin' song, and I've had to tell them, you can't play this right now. Like, we don't have a full club. You got to build up to these things. The mid-set DJ needs to get there early to see what's going on, and the closing DJ.
Super important.
Super important.
What she just said. Headlining DJ, stop showing up at 1 o'clock.
You're too late.
All right, ready? This is what I'm going to start doing. This is what I've done, and I'm really going to start doing this. Serato history. Every single time someone has a Serato history, every opening fucking DJ in New York City, when you come to my fucking clubs, I'm going to print out the opening DJ's Serato history in the fucking club, slap it down on your fucking desk, right where you're DJing, so you know exactly the songs that the person has played already. So you don't have to fucking. I'm sick and tired of fucking hearing Migos 3 fucking times a night.
Stop it! But it's not even the DJ's fault. Like.
Well, he doesn't know. Why do you show up earlier?
No. First off, we're always playing yin and yang, right? Okay. There's been a million and one times where I'm at a club. And I've been the opening DJ, I've been the closing DJ, I've been the headliner, right? I'll be at the club. The actual GM comes up with me, hey, can you play Tatiana for the 4th time? My bottle client wants to hear this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you have a $50,000 client and he wants to hear fucking Uptown Girl, guess what I'm playing? Uptown Girl for the 100th time.
$50,000 clients
Yeah,
anymore?
but
So
DJs
if you come at the
this.
DJs, you gotta come at the GMs. That same nigga in the Zara suit, you gotta tell him the
In
DJ.
the Zara suit.
The
Why
DJ's
gotta be
not
wearing
gonna
a
play.
Zara suit,
Because
bro?
90% of them do. You gotta tell him, yo, stop telling the DJ what to play. Like if you book a DJ, you book a DJ for what he does, correct or no?
I agree with you. I agree with you
Okay.
on that. I agree with you.
Okay,
I also feel
so
like the
it's
people
not.
who are
It's not.
requesting songs realistically are like 21.
That
No?
what?
Are 21. Like
I'm saying the people who are
the
requesting
majority of the times that I've seen people requesting a song of the DJ, they're like young girls who
100%,
want
right.
like my birthday shout out.
Right. I mean, New York nightlife also moves in shifts. You know what I mean? Like you have the people that show up wild early, who are 90% of the time underage people. Let's be real.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Then you have like your industry people that get there usually 12 to 1, right? So those people didn't hear what you were playing between 11 and 12, right? So I mean, sometimes it makes sense. Like one time I was at a venue and some freak shit happened where the dude just came off the street and he was like, "Hey, it's my daughter's 18th birthday. I'll pay whatever I gotta pay to get in." So the dude was like, "I'm sorry, boss. There's a $5,000 minimum." He's like, "Okay, done." Gives him the credit card, comes in. So I'm playing my opening set, and the GM comes up to me. He was like, "Listen, this is the situation. They want to hear like new shit, like Rihanna and stuff." He's like, I know you're doing what you gotta do. You're doing everything right, but I need you to play that right now because I just charged his card $5,000. So at that point, PS1 walked in, and I'm playing hits, like you know what I mean. But again, I'm an experienced DJ, so I knew to play like older hits, like between 2014, 2015, shit like that. Obviously, I'm not playing like "Bitch Better Have My Money" or whatever.
Yeah, I think there's also something to be said for like when you're opening set. A lot of these guys are playing like they get the idea. Let's play 90s. Let's play 80s. Let's play 70s. There's also a way to do that. If you're gonna play Wonderwall at let's say 10:30, 11 p.m., that's a 3:30 song. I think we can all agree.
100%.
So I think a lot of the times these guys take even your quintessential like "What's Love." That's your quintessential opening song. You know what I mean? What's Love? There's nobody that does an opening set without dropping that.
I mean, I don't want to veer off.
A lot of these new, specifically to downtown DJs, they're literally like practicing on their iPad app, DJ apps in like their house.
Who?
We're not going.
I'm just saying, like, nobody in this room.
No, I'm just
clearly,
saying.
But like, I've seen
Look,
promoters bring in
I've
DJs.
had surprises.
No,
I've
they're
had
DJs,
promoters bring in DJs because they're cheap,
Right.
and they're like
Or
they're
free.
or free,
100%.
and it's like
Mostly
their
free.
boy, and you listen to them, and like realistically, you're like, there's no way that you're actually a DJ.
Right,
you
right,
just
right.
practice DJing.
Right.
Yep.
No,
I'll
I
tell
mean,
you a
that's,
great story.
That's
And
1,000%
nothing
valid.
like that because
Right.
that's way too much.
No, that's 1,000% valid. I mean, I don't
You know?
want to get into the DJ conversation, but my whole thing is like you were coming at DJs. As a working DJ, in my defense, it's not always our fault that we play songs 3 or 4 times.
Copy.
That was just the whole point of my little pop
And,
in
that's,
here.
and there's
It's valid.
It's circumstantial.
It's valid.
But realistically, DJs should be getting there not just 10 minutes before their set starts or
No, that's
10
valid.
minutes after.
That's
They
valid.
should be coming in to feel the vibe and
Right.
figure out what
No,
they're
I
gonna
do.
do
I
for
do
the
agree. A
next
lot of
hour and a
DJs
half,
are
you
coming
know?
from other gigs. A lot of DJs are coming from other gigs, and I do understand that. Now, I do want to
Yeah.
move off this topic a little bit. The world is ending. Great segue. The world is ending, man. We have population is just we've just hit a maximum population. Now, I feel like in nightlife over the years we've picked up a lot of freeloaders. You have bottle girls that don't want to work; they just want to party and do cocaine. You have people that have promoters that bring 1 girl a week, and they're out in clubs 4 times a week for free. I walk into a club, I see 35 promoters and 4 girls on the table.
Yeah.
I walk into a club with bottle girls. I see 7 bottle girls, 30 clients, 3 girls actually hustling, making money. Now, it used to be where we were
No
getting paid.
promoters.
We were getting paid off. Oh, promoters as well.
In 2006, there were no promoters.
Of course, because that's
There wasn't like that.
pre-bottle.
It wasn't bottles and models. It wasn't like
Pre-bottle
that.
service era is a
Yeah.
whole different world, a whole different discussion to talk about. But what I want to talk to you about is about the freeloaders. I'm tired. This is why I believe nightlife is failing. When you let in 30 promoters to a venue, that's too much access. Everybody has so much access. There's unlimited access to everything. Every bottle girl gets what she wants. Every single, and babe, you want to bring in 7 people? No problem, bring in 7. This creates a culture where we don't have the typical consumer who's going to spend money in our clubs. So on camera, it looks packed. But when your bar hits 7K, what do you go tell your owner? So my question to you is, how would you now in the future get rid of all these freeloaders that are just in this industry, not to make money, but to enjoy the other side of it?
I think that falls on promoters and the people who, I mean, these promotional teams, you know, hospitality companies, groups, whatever they're calling themselves these days. I mean, I think that falls a lot on it. The head promoter is making deals with clubs, with whoever at the club, and then from there, they allow all these sub-promoters to come in. So, I mean, I always look at it sideways because I don't understand why we need all these people who aren't doing anything, who aren't promoting the club. I mean, I check Instagrams, I check social medias. Like, people go hard for like a day, and then like a week later they'll post again. But it's like the day of the party, so it's like, what have you been doing in between?
I mean, there's a thin line between promo and spam, though. There's a thin line.
And what?
And spam. There's a very thin line between promo and
There's
spam.
also knowing at what promoter level you're on. You also got to know when you're at a spam level of promoting. When I was just starting, yes, motherfucker, I'm spamming you. Yes, it's me on Facebook, fucking again, inviting you to another fucking birthday party of mine. Yes, motherfucker, it's my I'm going away for 6 months. I'm throwing a fucking party, and I'm going to spam you.
But social media is really, I mean, it's, again, like when I first started in nightlife, Instagram wasn't a thing. Facebook was a thing, but not really a thing. Like it didn't. It was like still in its exclusive stages. Like it wasn't like.
Didn't hit puberty yet.
Yeah, it was like a college thing.
It was still very college like oriented. You know, people had cell phones obviously, but like it wasn't a big thing. Like they're just. It was all via email. Like email blasts were like the original social media.
Right.
And by the way, fuck all your email blasts. I'm sick and tired of getting them.
And those were all spam because those are annoying.
Those are spam.
But like social media really helps. And the thing is that if promoters are going to promote a party,
hold on.
Like,
please don't.
Sub promoter, like people who are like promoting.
I feel triggered.
Well,
I feel triggered.
Not you.
Wow.
But these sub promoters will be a little bit clear. Okay. We'll call them that.
Anyways, we gonna get off this topic. All right, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Tell me what you got coming up. I know you got some crazy things coming up.
Okay, so I've got my hands in a hip hop charity concert. This is our 3rd year. I'm working with my team, Blessed and Pretty Lou. It is Tuesday, April 16th at Irving Plaza. Tickets are on sale. You can get them at Ticketmaster.com, IrvingPlaza.com, LiveNation.com. Rock Nation is involved. Tidal is streaming it. We have Fat Joe, Remy Ma, The Locks, Diplomats will be there, Casanova will be there. Who else? Oh, Raekwon, Ghostface Killer will be there. So we have some big names coming.
You guys,
it's a charity event.
Vibes.
All the proceeds are going to cancer and ALS research at New York Presbyterian Hospital. So everybody buy a ticket, come show love. It's gonna be fun.
Shout out to Pretty Lou, man.
Shout out to Pretty Lou. Shout out to the heavy hitters. Shout out to Emma for coming in and rocking out with us. Tell them your Instagram. Tell them your social media. Where to find you at.
That's me at Boss Lady M. I only do Instagram. I'm not that cool, so we just do Instagram.
We appreciate you having you on the show, man.
Thank you, Emma.
Come on. Yeah. Fuck with your boy. Yeah. It's Santana. Once again. Hey, man. Oh, yeah. Let me see do this. Killer. Jim. Freaky. Yeah, man. I'm back at it. Today's a new day. Got the booty up in the suitcase. So go uptown to Harlem. Tell them that I sent ya. Tell them it's August, I'm going to November. I need a couple birds, get a broad, have them sent up. Call my bird, get my broad, have her sent up. Call my niggas, call my squad, have them sent up. Yeah, I see a town I'm liking. See some niggas getting money in a town, I like it. I run up on them with the pound and light it like it's my block now, alright, kid. He understood me quite clear. Then that thing bang out and rang out the side of his right ear.
I'm fresh, I'm fly, I'm so damn high. More than 500 horses when I roll by. I'm calm, I'm cool, everything brand new. I don't handcuff, you can get the whole damn crew. Get in my Beamer, Benz, Bentley. Beam a Benz a Bentley. Beat it, I bet she let me. She been fiending since she met me. I'm the coolest shit, especially when I throw on all my Gretzky. Got my sister Smith on Wussy to protect me, so respect me. This is heavy, new Bentley, color vanilla and cherry. Andretti and Pirelli make a movie out the Getty. With my ring and my confetti, I'm Kobe Bryant ready. Pink rose and chronic smelly while I'm stumbling out the telly. I'm so fly, I'm so fairy, and the way I flow is very. Ginsu and machete, when my pencil move is deadly. Platinum band, platinum bezzy, make a straight girl out of Leslie. Magazine, Mac, Bezzy, keep my windows like the Prezi.
It's 50, aka Ferrari F50. Break it down. I got a lot of living to do before I die, and I ain't got time to waste. Let's make it. You say you a gangster, but you never pop nothing. You say you a wankster, and you need to stop fronting. You ain't a friend of mine. You ain't no king of mine. What makes you think that I'm gonna run up on you with the 9? We do this all the time. Right now we on the grind. So hurry up and cop it.
Fuck with your soul like ether. Teach you the king, you know you. Godson across the belly. I prove you lost already. Hey yo, pass me the weed, put my ashes out on these niggas, man. Hey yo, you faggots, y'all kneel and kiss the motherfucking ring. Fuck with your soul like ether. Teach you the king, you know you. Godson across the belly. I prove you lost already. Fucked over, left for dead, distant, forgotten. Luck ran out. They hope that I'll be gone stiff and rotten. Y'all just piss on me, shit on me, spit on my grave. Talk about me, laugh behind my back, but in my face, shots of well wishes, friendly acting, envy, hot and snake. With your hands out for my money, man, how much can I buy when the streets keep calling? Heard it when I was asleep, that this Casey and Rockefeller records wanted. Started cocking up my weapon, slowly loading up this ammo to explode it on a camel and the soldiers I can buy that.
Kill Dipset, Lil Weezy, Cash Money. Yo, man, let me holler. Let's do it. I've been hugging the block. That's right. Hustling rocks. I know, I've been puffing a lot. But a nigga wanna know, baby girl, you a sucker tonight. My dick hard as a motherfucker. You don't what? Tell that shit to another sucker. I ain't no sucker, mama. Come on, fuck the drama.
Mic check. We back, baby. We back like cook crack. Let's do it.
You being so drastic. Got something for your face. Fuck proactive. I'm a pro at this. Round the globe atlas. But I need to know, ma, you gon' suck it or not. Baby girl, I'm in love with the twat. Missionary back shots. Pop it off, rock it off. I tell you right now, if my cock is sore, what I want head before and after. That top.
Every day, every night, all the time.
Yo, they try to box me in a corner for the longest. No key, lock me in this corner for the longest, but come on, man, they can't fuck with me. They really well can't. Let's do this, man. I got him, man. Somehow I managed to creep from under the rock. Linking up with Cam, him linking up with the rock now. Yeah, I told you. Come on, man. I won't fail you, niggas. I got this.
Just Blaze. Oh, baby. Killer. All the girls see the. Look at his kicks. Look at his car. All I say is, look, mommy, I'm no good. I'm so hood. Clap at your soldiers sober. Then leave after it's over. Killer. I'm not your companion or your man standing. Hit me when you wanna get rammed in. I be scrambling with lots of mobsters. Shot for lobsters. Cops and robbers. Listen, every block is block. But she like the way I diddy bop. You peep that? Mango and Maury kicks plus Chanel ski hat. She want the, so I give her the. Now she screaming out. Yeah, she playing with herself. Can't dig it out. Lift her up. Ma, it's just a fuck, yo. Get it out. Pick one up. They want the boy Montana with guns with bandanas. Listen to my whole gun.
Yeah. Right back at you, motherfuckers. Yo, I stand alone in this cold world. Could you believe that? I seen some good men get blown over G-packs in the Bronx where it's known to hear the heat clap. And live niggas get it on with the D-Tex. Shit, my life's legendary. If I wrote it all down in the book, it would be very scary. What you know, 16 Beamers and Benzes. Hey. Rope chains down on my dick, the beats look tremendous. Me and my niggas strip holes in bitches. Back then when I wouldn't even pose for bitches. Hey yo, you can ask Dapper Dan, who was the man back in 88. Every week.
Live from Red Hook, Monday Night Industry Talk Unfiltered. Super excited to be here. My next guest, she's a general manager. She's used to be a bottle host. She's one of the baddest girls I know. Only drives foreign vehicles. Miss Ania Z. Make some noise, guys.
Hey, welcome,
doing, babe?
welcome.
It's been
Killer,
a while.
Killer Ania.
About 24 hours, probably, right? When was the last time I was at LeSueur?
I don't know, probably like 8 hours ago. I don't
8
know.
hours ago. All right, so you run the only club in New York City that's open 7 days a week, 7 days a night, 365 days a year, no matter the snow, no matter the holiday. What do you think the biggest? What's the days you take off? Like, what day you're like, all right, I'm not coming in today?
I mean, I'm off on Tuesday, Thursdays. It's never a day off. You're still on your phone writing back to promoters, sending flyers, setting up tables. So it's really no day off.
You see, what people don't understand is you're not really just a general manager. In other clubs, a general manager, their job is to floor manage, make sure that inventory's checked, ETC, run security, run the club top to bottom. But your job on top of that is artists, bottles, clients, and promoters.
Yes, people don't realize it's not like you just go into work, you do your shift. It's not a 9 to 5. It's a 24 hours, 7 days a week job. It's everything. Like, because you have to set up the night. You know how much it goes into setting up the night. Like, even tonight, we have Twerk Mondays. It doesn't set itself up. You have to send up flyers, set up the tables.
Everything top to bottom.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned today's Twerk Mondays, which is one of your busiest nights of the week. You guys have DJ Camilo there tonight. You were with DJ Camilo this past weekend, I believe, as well.
Yes.
You have a great relationship with a lot of hip-hop DJs in New York, a great relationship with a lot of artists in New York. Tell me how those relationships began.
I either meet them on my own or meet them through people. Like even last Monday, Casanova came through, Hood Celebrity. We had DeVito 2 weeks ago. These people just come. I don't pay them. It's just all about relationships in this industry. I meet them somehow. We exchange numbers. It's all about contacts, networking. They come, I show them love, and it's just a continuous relationship.
Hold on. Before you comment, I'm sorry.
Hit me.
Can we just touch on that whole artist thing?
I know what you're gonna say.
Let's just give every DJ a fucking heads up, out of respect. At least have one of any artist song on your laptop. I've been to a venue where DeVito has come. DeVito's from Nigeria.
Yes.
Like, he's a long way from Nigeria. I get it, right? The DJ had none of his records. None.
But what we need to understand, people are like, oh, why didn't you tell me? I'll get that text 12 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock. I'm 5 minutes away. I'm pulling up with a DeVito. I'm pulling up with so-and-so. So I wish I knew so I could tell more people as well. But we don't get like a heads up. We get a 10-minute ahead of time.
And usually when you get a heads up, they don't come. That's the funny thing. Usually when they tell you like 10 hours before, then they usually get a different plan and they don't come. The best is when they come 10 minutes out and then, all right, I'll just take care of you at the door.
And also, it does make it easier because then, like, if the cops come to me, how come you didn't tell us you have so-and-so? I didn't know. I'm sorry, you know, so.
It's a lot easier because you don't have to give them the heads up. You're not dropping a flyer, and it's just so much easier that way. I want to talk to you about relationships in nightlife. I feel that, personally, you have to date within nightlife for them to understand you. I think it's crucial that the regular person understands what we go through mentally, what we go through physically, being alone so many times. Even though we're in a packed club, we're always alone. And I think that people outside of nightlife won't get that. Do you feel like you have to date within the scope of nightlife, or can you go out?
I mean, I totally agree with you as far as my circle of friends, my dating, it all changed because a regular person that wakes up at 7 a.m., we're just getting home. They don't understand, and it makes it difficult. Like, people don't understand the fights in the club, what we go through. Unless you're in the nightlife, then you get it. And it's like, that also makes people closer together.
You mentioned the security. One of your great quotes that you sent it to me, any night's a great night if there wasn't a fight. And I think that's a great quote. I think that's a really great quote, even though it's simple. And the reason why is because at the end of the day, the house has to be protected. This is the key to nightlife. The house must be protected. Because if there's no house, none of us get paid. There's no DJs, there's no sound guy, there's no visual guy, there's no dancers, there's no GM, there's no promoters. We need the house. And it's time for people to trust each other so that we're able to put a successful night together. And I think that's what we have at LeSueur, me and you personally, and also your staff too. How do you think you gain your trust from the army of bottle girls that you've put together?
It's all about energy. It's not brain surgery. If my workers want to come in, you want to have a shot to loosen up, go for it. It's not like we're doing brain surgery. It's not a tight environment. It's a fun environment. You also want to make people work for you, so they make you proud and they don't disappoint you. That's the key. I'm very understanding. I'm not like by the books, because it's not by the books in industry, you know?
I think that's super important. You said it's not a by the book industry. What you mean is there's a situation every night that you have to deal with that's never been dealt before.
Yeah, when you ask me what's one of my most successful nights, like I said, every night is a successful night, only because so many great clubs did get shut down because of that one night, that one big fight. So that's what you always want to prevent. I mean, so many great clubs. It was one big brawl, one big fight, and then before you know it, they lose their liquor license and everything goes downhill.
Forget the security challenges for a second. Forget the dating for a second. Let's talk door. Let's get down to the door. You used to work the door at some point, correct?
I would cover. I mean,
here and there. What are some challenges you would deal with at the door?
I mean, the door sets the tone for the whole night. It's who you let in.
I'm on Jason's list.
I'm on Jason's list.
Everybody, I'm on Jason's list.
It sets the night, you know, and it's like some people just, if they don't get in, they don't understand. But at the same time, you have to protect the whole night. It's who you let up in that sets the tone for the entire night.
The exclusivity sets the tone.
Yes. I mean, I even remember when I did the door for you one night. Everybody's Jason's friend. Everybody's so-and-so's friend. When you ask them to pay, no, I'm so-and-so's friend. Great. So, I mean, you know, but I still have a business to run. I think that's the biggest challenge when everybody always drops names.
How many friends, you don't have to give me an actual answer exponentially, how many people have you lost that were close friends with you before nightlife? Now that you're in nightlife, they're like, you know what? Well, you're Hollywood on us now.
You know what? I mean, I never have friends. It's all business relationships. Sorry.
I thought we were friends.
Wasn't expecting.
Thank you.
You're
Next.
Like, you thought we were friends.
All her friends foreign, just like her car.
Oh.
Can I get a close-up? Can I get a close-up somewhere? No, but I do agree with you in a sense where people have to be put at an arm's length. It's very hard to bring people under your arm that don't understand nightlife. They don't get it, you know? Some nights I can't comp you. Some nights I can.
Yeah.
And I can't explain to you. This is the problem. We can't explain to you. This is what I find most difficult. I'll take a girl who's never been to One Oak. It's her birthday. She's like, babe, we went to all these other clubs. I want to go to Oak. I'm like, I have no problem. I'll take you. First time they go, they sit down. The place is empty. Oak is empty before 2 o'clock. We all know that. We're in the industry. Try convincing a girl who's waited 22 years of her life to go to One Oak that the first time she fucking goes in there, nobody's fucking in the place. There's one fucking table over there with JP Morgan. There's the GM over there. There's 30 bottle girls hanging out waiting for clients to come that's not going to come till 2:30. And now you got to sit here and convince her that it's going to be popping. This is the misconception that we have to deal with every single day in nightlife. And this is why I keep saying this is a show to bridge the gap between nightlife people who aren't involved with nightlife. Because I feel like there's such a big gap. Now, I want to focus also on the gender gap. There's not really a lot of female GMs in New York City. Talk to me about the struggle it is being a female in a male-dominated environment.
Well, I mean, it's not easy when you have like 10 guys trying to argue with you, you know? It's then also like they try to flirt, they try to like hit on you, but it's like as long as it's like you give the tone where it's all about business, I personally didn't find that much of a struggle, but at the same time, if I was gonna run around and be cute and like, you know, it's like, no, like I'm here to run a club, I'm here to do business and that's it. If you wanna text me, you could text me. If you have bottles coming, if you wanna buy a bottle, you know?
But how important, like, of a role did your relationships with other industry people play in that, and you adjusted to that position of power? Like, for instance, like if I'm Jason's friend, and I'll be like, damn, she's right, she's popping. Like, Jason, 9 out of 10 times would check him like, yo, respect, that's the GM. Like, whatever she says, you listen to. And I mean, like, how important was your relationship with those other industry people? How important was that?
Relationships with promoters, DJs,
promoters,
guys who are in the
DJs,
industry. You know
bartenders, bar back, security, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like the promoters, they make the party. If there's no promoters in the club, the bottle clients are gonna leave. There's
No. I'm saying as opposed to like other like regular guests treating you with respect. Know what I mean? Because it's very easy for every guy to be a creep. Know what I mean? Like, I personally forewarn people like, yo, she works here, like, respect, like, fall back, whatever. She got to do what she got to do. Like, do you believe that your relationships with all the promoters and all the DJs? Do you think that has like a role to play in the respect that you receive as a female GM?
Absolutely, and it's also in any part of life. It's how you carry yourself. But you know what? Promoters do try to get cute and like, you know, try to kiss me and everything, and they will get cursed out. They get a warning because at the end of the
they get a warning.
They get a warning.
DJ Camilo, warning.
Is it written or verbal?
It's verbal, and the second time around, you're just not allowed in.
Let's talk about the band. I like that. So I'm not going to drop names. Obviously, there's people who are banned from certain clubs. Now, a lot of the times there's new security, you know what I'm saying? And they don't know. And then you're walking in the club, and you're listening to see this fucking kid that you didn't want to see for fucking 10 years. Now, there's so many ways to go about it. There's security dragging him out. There's walking up to him and being, listen, kid, you have 30 seconds to get out this club. We're going to drag you out. It's up to you. What's your go-to method?
Well, I mean, you know, you never want to embarrass anybody. Let's not drag them out. I just go up to them like, you know, you're not allowed, and I suggest you leave. And then security just comes by them, and we escort them out. We try to be violence-free.
We try to be violence-free.
Try to be.
You heard it here first. Let's see. The violence-free venue of New York City. If you didn't get a close-up on that, we'll have a problem. Now, talk to me about personal branding. You have Lesouk above you, right? That's who you work for. You're working for a great, successful female as well, Lamia. Happy birthday. It's also my second mom. There's so much culture in the place that's been developed for so many years. How do you come in, make your mark, and not change that culture too much?
I mean, you just do it. It's, you know, like
you just do it.
That's it. I mean, like even when I came in, you were such a strong force in Lesouk, and it's like, you know, like God forbid somebody new comes in. It's hard coming into like a place. It's like going into high school your senior year and everybody knows each other. The cliques are set already.
It's the Juminati. It's the Juminati.
I'll say this about Lesouk. Obviously, that's our home. You know what I'm saying? And I do feel that I've watched you grow. I've been there for years. So I've watched everybody, you know, basically from 7, 8 years ago. So I've watched you go exponentially, and I think it's a beautiful thing to watch. And that goes with anybody in nightlife. I don't think it's male or female dominated. I think that eventually we're going to see a lot more gaps like this. We had 2 female GMs on the show today. That's going to be a trend that continues to grow, I hope, in New York City. You continue to hire great female bottle girls. I love your staff. I love your team. Shout out to all the bottle girls in Lesouk. All you baddies out there. You want to give a round of applause? Let's give a round of applause for Lesouk bottle girls one time.
Shout to the bartenders too. Shout to the bartenders.
When I arrived,
God forbid.
When I arrived, shout out to the bartenders.
God forbid.
Oh my God, I fucking love you guys. You guys hold me down all the time. I'm not gonna drop names because I gotta drop everybody's name. I do want to talk to you about presentations. When I arrived at Lesouk, presentations were at all-time low. We really came in there. We made an effort at that, at changing the way we present bottles. You know what I mean? Bringing in the Vouv, bringing in the Goose, bringing in the different ornaments and the signs. When do you stop and say, I need 5 girls for this table? What's the min? What's the min we're looking at? If you have to stop 4 or 5 girls and be like, I need you to focus on this table, we're doing a monster presentation.
Well, when I came in, you remember we didn't have sparklers. We had the ones that light up on the batteries, and I'm like, fuck it, let's light up the whole place. So we got real sparklers. The uniforms changed tremendously, you know. You're a bottle girl, you're supposed to be sexy. As far as the bottles, everybody works together as a team. It's all about presentation. Everybody wants to feel special, whether they get 1 bottle or 5 bottles. They want to feel like they want the whole club to see like, hey, I'm getting a bottle. That's the whole point. So you make it a production. It's like, you know.
I've seen people say.
Let's paint a picture for the people who haven't been to Lesouk. We're talking about Lesouk like everybody has been there.
Yeah, but I feel
Lesouk is not a big. For those people, if you live on the
Rock, it's a big club. We fit 550. We fit 550 deep. 42 tables.
Like
each table starts at 1 can a month. You want me to?
298.
All right. Time out. So for any of you who live on the Rock and haven't been to Lesouk, it's not a very big spot. It's not.
It's pretty big.
It's not. It's big. It's not very pause. It's not very big.
It's big to me, okay?
Oh, that's what she said. Pause. So Like, it's pretty much when you walk up the stairs, it's 2 flights of stairs, by the way. It's not very handicap accessible, just saying.
We have an elevator access to the left that you don't even know about.
I don't.
And we actually do have some handicapped clients.
Yeah,
And we bring them up by elevator.
Y'all thought I was playing?
You thought, I don't know why you're saying Lesouk's under a rock, bro.
No, I said if you live on the rock and haven't been.
If you live under the rock is probably Lesouk.
Well, anyway, when you walk into Lesouk, you have the bar to your left. You have tables from start to finish. There's tables, and there's more tables to your left. And then there's the DJ booth, and there's more tables behind you. If you have tables behind the DJ, you're a baller. Congratulations. So when we talk about lighting up the club, they literally light the club up. It's like a parade of success.
I think what you're trying to say is when sparklers come out, everybody can see it because it comes from the back all the way to the front.
Right.
Kind of like One Oak.
Yes.
Same exactly.
Sure.
Back to the front.
Right.
And even like with promoter bottles, they'll get sparklers. It's all about animation.
What's one of your favorite themed parties we've ever thrown at Lesouk?
You're giving me that look. I will have to say a Jason Experience party.
She's not only saying that because this is my show. She is saying that because we do throw the best theme parties in New York City.
His theme parties are the best, like the pajama fest, anything and everything. You put so much effort and work into it.
Anything with midgets wins. Anything. I'm just saying.
Little people. We do have to wrap this up. So tell them where to find you out on social media. Tell them the events we have coming up at Lesouk as well.
I mean, every night it's an event. Every night somebody's doing
another
a
movie gets
walkthrough.
made.
Somebody's coming. You can find me on Killer Ania, Lesouk, almost every night. If I don't like you, don't look for me.
She's not that pouty. Anyways, this has been Industry Talk. Ania Z, Lesouk, General Manager, make some noise one time. Thank you so much. Marty and my brother. Yeah.
Everybody outside when I pull up outside all night, no. Everybody high five, everybody wanna smile, everybody wanna lie, that's nice, no. Oh, now you wanna chill, oh, now you wanna build, oh, now you got the bill, that's cool, though. Oh, now you got the gas, oh, now you wanna laugh, oh, now you need a cab, that's true, though. All you do is talk, I ain't got shit to say. Can't no one get in my car, I don't even valet. Long discussions, oh, you my cousin? No, you wasn't, you just wanna ride. You just wanna talk about politics, Chicago shit, and rocket shit. Shut up, start dancing, ho. All night I've been drinking, 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 You just wanna spill flies on the seat, ride on the seat, come ride on the seat. Last girl, she a liar.
Do it heavy with the vibes.
Now she jogging the streets.
Industry Talk Unfiltered, we here.
Thinking like a fan, asking for a pic.
Shout out to 4 a.m. in the building, heavy. Shout out to everybody, hit me on the text. Brandon Alex, what up?
Is you ain't got gas money. No IOUs or debit cards, I need cash money. So back up, I need space now. I need you to slow down, it's not a race now. I can't really hear what you gotta say now. Shut up.
Your love is fading. Your love is fading. Your love is fading.
You can get the biggest Chanel back in the store if you want it. I gave them the drill, they sucked it up, I got them on it. I bought a new Patek, I had to watch, so I two-toned it. Taking these drugs, I'm gonna be up until the morning. That ain't your car, you just a Lisa, you don't own it. If I'm in the club, I got that 5 when I'm performing. The back end just came in and out. Vibes galore, cute shit, they all on us. I'm from Atlanta where young niggas run shit. I know they hating on me, but I don't read comments. Whenever I tell her to come, she comes. Whenever it's smoke, we ain't running. Drip too hard, don't stand too close. You gon' fuck around and drown. Off this way, doing all these shows. I been on the road, I don't care where I go, long as I get paid. Bad little vibe, she been on my mind. Soon as I get back, she get shot.
Hey, word on the street, I'm a suspect. Hanging with the killers in the projects. Tato on the barrel, keep quiet. Catch a nigga slipping from behind. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. Shit. OG Bobby Johnson. Shit. Duckin', bustin', poppin', tag, nigga, you ain't pop shit. Duckin', murder, hunter, murder, nigga, you ain't pop shit. How you duck, yammer, clip, nigga, you ain't shot shit. Spendin' money on these hoes, nigga, you ain't fuck shit.
It's Marty Rock, baby.
Stone, 2 damn phones, Babylons can't crack the code. Used to sip out styrofoam, but figured I should stick to dro. Backwoods overload, don't like to smoke them swishers, ho. If you hit my liquor store, it's 50 cents for single. Said she wanna roll with me and smoke up all my weed. I said, baby, just buy that cheese, cause you can't smoke for free. I got some love, but no money, babe, buy me a Fiji. She said you need a job, bitch, first good job, I still get cheese.
Worse. Motherfucker never loved her. Fucker never loved her. You ain't know now, you know now. Still at the scrub J's with a toothbrush. Shit. Niggas still playing my old shit. But your shit is like the police asking us questions. Nigga, we don't know shit.
Brassy girls everywhere. Titty ass hands in the air. So party over here. Shaking for the man of the year. Met man of the year. Met man of the bounce. Brassy girls everywhere. Titty ass hands in the air. So party over here. Shaking for the man of the year. Met man of the year.
Dirty soda in the styrofoam. Spend a day to get my mind blown. Dress it up and go to Nassau. 200 miles on the dash. Gotta roll a pound up a gas. Switching lanes in the Grand Rapids.
That's right, we're back.
I want to hold the mic.
We're back live, Industry Talk, Function House.
Uh-oh.
Another segment.
I've been
My
waiting for
guest
this one.
today, one of the most outspoken human beings I know on the planet.
Oh.
Mr. D-Star, future producer exec. That's what I see.
The Ivan Drago of Ableton.
You said the Drago of
The
Ableton?
Ivan Drago of Ableton.
What is that?
You don't know Drago?
No.
This is what happens when you grow up in Buffalo. This is what happens when you grow up in Buffalo. How do you not know
Did I just
Drago?
find out that Donnie has never seen Rocky?
I've seen Rocky. Never mind.
So the big Russian guy, I will break you.
Gotcha.
That's Drago. Yeah.
Got you. And don't give me shit about that remake. What's it called? The new one, Creed?
I liked it.
Really?
I liked it. I did. I mean, I'm a hood rat, so like the hood rat story, like when he gets successful, that's my shit.
I respect that too, but I don't respect it when it's a cheap copy.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I just thought that the whole thing was, it was like Rotten Tomatoes, but not even.
Right. This modernizing movies thing.
Yeah,
like they're going for Jurassic Park. They're going for everything. Like
Jurassic Park I liked. I'm not gonna lie.
It was good.
Jurassic Park I liked. Jurassic Park I liked.
If we're talking about not touching movies, let's talk about not touching songs. Like there's certain songs, share remix. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Okay, actually super important. You want to start with this? We can start with this. You want to start with this?
Leave it alone.
All right, let's start with this.
I know where he's going with
Let's
this.
start with this. All right.
I know where you're going
So now
with
to all
this.
you radio edit DJs out there in New York City, number one, if you guys are going to edit music, use the edits of people you know. This is ridiculous to me. You're going to use an edit from some kid in Norway you never met, but you're not going to use an edit of a DJ that you actually know. Do you think that people do that because they musically actually like the edit that you're using from overseas, or because that's the
Sorry, say that one more time. You're saying
I'm asking-
radio DJs use the edits of people that they don't know, or they do know, you're saying?
people that have edits in general?
Okay.
Like bootlegs and edits.
Yeah, like
they are always using these edits and bootlegs that they find from mysterious third parties online.
Yeah, like
instead
those
of
DJs.
using someone like you, Chachi, Beatbreaker, someone that they
Right.
know.
I don't really make a lot of edits like that. Like me and Rick did a lot of remixes last year, but like I don't really like to make like edits personally. It's just not my thing. I'm more of like an original. I think in today's musical climate, I think the originals are fine for most of the songs. I think like 5 years ago, like when people were like EDMing songs and stuff, there was a place for that. But like, hey, I'm not saying it aged well, but there was a place for that. There was a place for that. And it gave people the opportunity to fit songs that don't belong in a format into a new format. But now a lot of these edits are like, let's just ram a drop into this song. So I think, you know, to answer your question, I guess like, I don't really fuck with a lot of those, like to be honest with you.
Look, all I can say is if you edit all day long in the set, you're gonna edit your way out of my lineup. It's that simple.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just gonna edit your way out of the lineup.
Right.
And I'm tired. I'm tired of making it a discussion. Like this
Right.
is New York City, right?
I don't care where we are. The originals are fine. They're hit records. They're produced by like the best producers in the world. You know what I mean? Like the guys who are producing these songs now are like great producers. Like what makes you think at your house, like in your like mom's basement, you're gonna like beat out like a Grammy award-winning guy like 40 or something.
Exactly.
Who's like making like more hits than the Beatles, you know? So I guess for me, it's like that's where I'm coming from. I just don't feel like I can. I'll take an approach to something. If I like for when we did our Good Life remix, that's a song like people shouldn't touch, in my opinion. But I thought we did it in a way that added something to the record and gave certain style of DJs a reason to play it in a set, and it wound up getting played at Ultra. Like that to me is like it makes sense. You know what I mean?
You've mentioned that the record got played in Ultra.
Yeah.
Now, I want to really touch on the subject, monetization of music. A lot of the times we see people do a lot of cool shit and not get paid for it.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? That's 80% of nightlife is
Of course. It's a sensitive subject.
I'm seeing a lot of people wearing Balenciaga but paying a payment plan to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean that's.
My point is, how do we monetize these edits, these bootlegs, to a point where now you can feed off of it?
I don't think we should be, to be honest with you. And I think like a guy like Beatbreaker is a great example, somebody who did a good job of doing it, and I think he does it well. But like, why should we be? If I write a song and someone changes my song a little bit, like where's the line on how much they have to change to make it their work? You know what I'm saying? So for Good Life, like for perfect example, I felt we did the song justice. You know, it might not be the taste of everybody. Like if Kanye heard it, he might not like what we did to it. That's fine. But we're gonna be able to play that in front of like a 3,000 cap room, and I know it's gonna go off. You know.
Which doesn't mean that it's also going to go off for a 400-person room. That record would, but I'm saying in general, do you feel a lot of these DJs play big room music in little clubs?
Oh, don't even get, I think that trend's starting to change. Maybe it's because we're in New York now and like it's very hip hop centric. I think that trend is starting to change, but like sometimes I go to like other cities and like, I mean, it's been like that since we were doing Solid Disco. Like Solid Disco, we don't play any EDM. Well, we didn't play any EDM really at all. And like you would have kids. I remember one time,
we were in North Carolina, and I could hear the club from the outside, and I could feel those hard style kicks, like that, like Booyah, like Tremor, like those big, like massive EDM songs. And then we got in, and we got in the green room, and all of a sudden I heard Deep House, like wait, like that, like. And then we go out to the stage. I'm like, yeah, man, like nice open. It was like literally like hard style. 10 minutes before I sat, like Deep House. And then we got on, and people were just so confused at like the opener's set, because it was just like, okay, they're here. You know?
Skirt.
Yeah, I guess we don't really see a lot of that in New York, though, to answer your question. Anymore.
I've watched you on Instagram traveling. You do a lot of
Thanks.
traveling. You do
Thanks.
a lot of traveling, which to me is the most important part of DJing in your time. Meaning, there's a prime for DJ travel. Do you feel like that?
Yeah, I think the wave has passed for me, to be honest, with my brand. I think like before we met, like I was on the road. I literally lived at the airport. Like I was 3 days, 4 days a week. There was a point in time where like it was crazy. Like I'd leave shows, go to the airport, wake up, and go to the next show like right then and there. Like when we did Ultra 3 years ago, I remember having a 15-minute window and having the ability to take a shower before my set, and I was so happy about that.
You were doing that when I first met you.
Yeah.
You left from AC to LA, I think.
Yeah, it was crazy, and it's exhausting, bro. It's so exhausting.
The incredible thing to me isn't really the exhaustion, it's also the mental stability that you have to have just to
Yeah.
go from one place to the next. My question for you is, though, I see guys come to my club and they're going through the motions, and this is what I hate a lot. I
Yeah.
see a lot of DJs, they come, they just go through the motions. I know you guys. I know every single DJ I book. I've
we're all
listened to them
homies,
before.
yeah.
So I know when you play Waka Flocka, then you throw on It's a Party, then you throw on DMX right after and consider it world play. I know you're bullshitting me. I know you're bullshitting me. I know you're going through the motions. I know you spun this set yesterday, and it's fucking offensive. And I don't care that I'm at Le Souk and you're playing it there.
Well, first off, those BPMs don't even line up. So if they go from Waka Flocka to DMX, that's definitely an edit. Definitely. If it was clean.
Okay, okay. We're making adjustments here.
I wanted to hold the mic.
Sorry, first episode. It's cool.
Okay, now you're confused.
I just want.
We're gonna go with the lavalier.
You hold it like a rapper. I like that.
Like a rapper.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's always given, always tried to rap before they manage.
Right.
Always tried to party before they promote. It's always, what's the DJ?
Don't get high on your own supply, basically.
Yeah. What's the I was gonna be a DJ, but I ended up doing something else.
Real estate? No, I'm just kidding. Shit.
I actually like that a lot. Real estate.
I guess like DJing's changed so much in the last few years. I don't think being a good DJ now is what it was 5 to 10 years ago. And I'd actually be curious, because you look at me like, what does that mean? What do you look for in a great DJ now? Because like you obviously are on the other side of things. I'm out there just trying to do a great job in my own right, in my own way. What do you look for? What would you consider the characteristics of a great open format DJ? Because I'm assuming you book your DJs in the context that you consider them open format DJs, right?
I mean, you got to just look at someone as a person first. I think that it really resonates to me as an individual, because if I'm doing business with you, it's not going to be once. So you can shut my room down once, great.
Sure.
I'm looking at longevity. So when I meet you and I'm listening to you spin, I want to hear that longevity within you. So I don't want you to. You're seeing me, I'm standing right next to you.
Yeah,
I see this biggest problem with DJs is they go on, and if the opening DJ doesn't set them up, what they end up doing is, I'm just gonna go from this high peak anyways, instead of resetting the room.
Yeah, I hate
you should reset the room as a headlining DJ if the opener fucks you.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he doesn't.
Yeah.
But if he does, sometimes you gotta reset the room.
I'm with that.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's like a minute detail. I mean, it's overall. So brand growth being the first one.
Yeah, brand growth is everything.
Yeah, like
to
you
me.
want to grow with somebody else.
I'm 27 right now. I knew I was gonna be in this game when I was 22, but I also knew I was gonna be in it for 30 years.
Right.
I've never came into this game as a stepping stone to something else. I've never came into this game thinking I'm gonna do anything else. I gave up on all my other dreams. This is what I'm doing. So if I'm gonna be around for the next 15 years, why am I gonna book somebody that's not gonna be there with me?
Okay, I got you.
You understand?
Yeah.
And then on a talent level, I mean, you guys are all I'm sick and tired of this conversation. You guys say there's no talented DJs. I can name you 50 guys right now, and you'll agree with me, and you're crazy. You got a 15-person staff, right?
Yeah,
You got 15 on your team right there.
Yeah, right.
You can agree with me that there's 20 other guys out there, right?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of really talented DJs, but like that's why I'm curious, like what in your eyes is talent? Like what do you think defines, like besides the brand growth thing, what defines, like what is the key characteristic that makes you walk in and say, you know what,
Adaptability.
That's how I feel.
That's everything in DJing.
That's how I feel.
Everything's adaptability. He mentioned earlier, like, yo, I got this client that wants me to do this. I got the GM that wants me to do.
Right.
Bro, mix
Spot
it
on.
in.
Spot
if
on,
you
yeah.
have Jay-Z behind you and
agree.
he asks you to play a record and it's fucking blend that shit. I
Just
don't know
make
how
it
to
happen.
fucking
Yeah,
do it.
just make it happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know what you
yeah.
guys.
No, I'm with that.
You know
I'm
what I'm
with
saying?
that.
It's just
I
adaptability.
think that's a spot on answer. Yeah. Versatility, I think, and a knowledge of music to back it
Now,
up.
to ask you the question,
Sure.
when you're coming in and being what's the word I'm looking for? Hospitable. Thank you, Mr. Scott. And you're looking for that hospitality from a club, from a promoter.
Yeah.
What makes you comfortable to spin?
It's funny you say that because this is something we kind of talk about a lot. I've seen both sides of it. I think like I've seen like the crazy touring, like Vegas gigs and like all those like really like big gigs and like what they provide. And then I'm 100% in the trenches with everybody else here. And like I think it's interesting that like even the woman before the first interview, she mentioned she's like the best jobs in nightlife that nobody really thinks about. It's like barbacks, bouncers, and DJs. And it was like crazy to me to hear that classified in that role, not to put anybody else down like a barback or a bouncer, but it just seems that like in today's tone, like we're no better than the bartenders now. And there's not that bartending is a bad job. It's not to take away from that, but I think there's artistic merit to bartending. I don't know about being a bouncer. I don't think there's really artistic I don't think these guys are like doing stuff that would be considered artistic or creative. And same with the barbacks. It's crazy to me that we're in that category in conversation. And like I think things have changed now for the working DJ, and I think there's a lack of respect for the working DJ. And I don't talk
Especially
about
in New York City.
It's getting everywhere. It's just that New York's always ahead of everything else culturally a little bit. And I think we set the precedent, we set the standard for what people expect, and it trickles down. When bottle service started happening, where did it start happening first in the United States?
New York.
So we're now go to Minnesota and there's bottle service clubs. Go to Florida. There's you know what I mean? I'm not talking Miami, Florida. I'm talking like Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking like
retirement.
I'm
Florida.
talking like bath salt, Florida.
Where that one guy like jumps in and saves a crocodile.
Where America goes to die, Florida.
Right, like Steve Irwin, Florida. You know, but like straight up, like that's it's killing me. And I think, you know, I try to think what created the end of this, because during like Chachi's run, who's one of the DJs, he's basically the owner of 4 AM. He's a New York legend in my eyes. And like, you know, you saw his run and it was like you saw what open format DJs were capable of, and they were pushing the boundaries and like what they were respected for their talents. And now you see today, and it's like it was a slow decline, and like the hospitality came with it. And only 2-3 years ago, I was playing an act where we were able to ask for red fucking Skittles only and shit. We weren't super big, but like, you know, we could gauge. I'll tell you one thing about the rider, man. You can really gauge somebody serious, like a promoter and their team, based on how well that's the first thing I look for when I walk in, is like how or my road manager at the time, we would gauge immediately based on the rider, like how serious a venue. That shit is not, we're not doing that shit to be pricks. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. We're doing that to see, because I know if you guys fuck up on certain little things with the hotel room and shit during the day, I know when I get to the club, I need to bring the Ethernet cable so I can link the CDJs. I need to bring extra this, extra that. You know what I mean? I'm coming prepared. I know what we're walking into.
By the way, if you're a New York DJ and you have a tech rider, it's like
it's hopeless.
It's like a cock flavored lollipop. It's useless.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's hopeless. You know,
a lot can be said about the technological advancements we made in nightlife, or made in the world in general. And now you mentioned the fact that you guys are not getting a lot of respect, and I guess that's overall because of the fact that everybody can become a DJ with a camera and Serato.
Right, and again, I'm not looking to be treated like this like fucking like legendary human being for playing Migos songs. Like I'm not a doctor, you know. Like I'm not saving lives, but like, there's times where I DJ at some of these clubs and it'll be 2 hours before somebody asks me for a drink. And I know it's not just because it's me, because I know we have that conversation as DJs. Like, yo, dude, I've been here for 2 hours and not a soul, but I'm getting crushed by people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's mad people in the booth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just know. And it's just a shame. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, 100%. Yo, but real quick, you had mentioned something before, like, that New York City sets pretty much like the precedent, like the standard for the whole country.
Right. We set the tone of what things, the trends.
Question for you.
Yes.
Now, you also mentioned Chachi.
Yes.
Okay. So the caliber of DJ that Chachi was back in the day.
Yeah.
No, is and was.
Yeah, like where those guys took open format.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the current how do you feel about the current state of New York City DJs? There's not too many DJs nowadays, new DJs, no shots at anybody, no subs, that could hang with those guys.
Yeah, but I think their priorities change.
I'm talking about skill wise. I'm talking about versatility wise. I'm talking,
but you got to run a business. And what's your ROI and skills? What's your fucking ROI and skills anymore? You know what I'm saying? I asked him what makes a good DJ. What makes a great versatility. So as long as he knows how to run the room, who gives a fuck anymore about it's done. Like,
Right.
I personally think this whole thing is over.
No, but I'm saying that
but he's right.
That
It's
kind of
over.
dubs the
That's what it is.
situation.
It's over.
That kind of dubs the situation. I feel personally
let me
for
ask you
DJs
this.
who travel.
Okay, let me ask you
like
this.
let's say, all right. For instance, they'll say, "Oh, Marty Rock is killing it." I'm in a club in San Diego, California, right? And Marty Rock's at One Oak, Marty Rock's at Lavo, Marty Rock's at Up and Down. All right, they book me. I get there and I do nothing but slam records and talk in the fucking mic all day, all night. Like, what is the point? That's terrible. Nobody in San Diego wants to hear that.
What difference does it make? Because now we're in a market where I personally think the bottle service thing, and you guys are gonna really look at me a certain way, but I do think the bottle service thing is becoming an outdated business model in a sense. And you can sun me on that because you know more than I do. I'm a DJ. I'm not running numbers behind a bar. But I think signs of that are showing, like you look at Marquee Las Vegas and stuff like that, where they're showing signs of switching things to like communal bottle service. They're trying different things, right? So what does that tell you about the culture that we grew up? When Chachi in his heyday, the bottles were moving like crazy, and you didn't have as many promoter tables.
It was also new.
Okay.
It was also fairly new.
Let me break this down in a really simple fashion.
Sure,
Everything goes down to technology, okay? Everybody's gonna be replaced by technology. I've been saying this for years. Look at Tableless. Look at Tableless.
This guy with the fucking robots, yo.
Listen to this.
This is a thing, I'm
Listen to
assuming.
this. Industry talk, unfiltered, Function House, names on the wall. You guys can zoom in on it when you want. Listen, in 10 years, this is all done. I agree with you.
And in 3 years, definitely having a sex doll. 100%.
Okay.
They already got that. I saw a special on that.
Okay. This is what I mean, and it's completely rational. Think about it.
Right.
5 years ago, 10 years ago, we would never have thought Tableless could exist. They're getting rid of promoters by marketing better. Half of these clubs in New York City are paying for their own videographers and photographers now. They're building their own in-house brand, and that's what they're using to pull people in. Fantastic. I don't care. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Now, DJs want to have this conversation. You'll never be able to replace me. You can't replace me.
No, Spotify already has. Spotify already has.
Fuck Spotify. Let me ask you a question. You guys walk into a casino in New York City, you walk into a casino in AC, you walk into a casino in Vegas, anywhere you walk in, the second you walk in, there's no clocks, everything is red. They have your blood temperature, they have your heart rate, they have your emotions on lock. They know exactly how you're feeling, when you're gonna hit, when you're not gonna hit. You're telling me they can do all that and they can't put together a system that's gonna read the tempo of a crowd in a club.
Yeah, it's easy.
It's easy, and eventually it will be replaced. And now my point is, how do we?
It's already been done. The
But how do
Spotify
we
algorithm already
create
does
revenue for ourselves that continues this?
So you want to
because
get
it goes to bottle service too.
Well, we could get all Elon Musk and say that they're going to do that base.
Of course.
What is it? The base wage? Elon Musk, the guy
who's that?
The Tesla.
Now you can't give me shit about the
Yeah, how do
movie
you not
guy
know
and
Elon
talk
Musk
to me about
First
Elon
off-
Musk. Come on.
First
now.
off, I don't pay attention to nothing I can't afford,
is
yo.
Elon Musk of nightlife.
No, that's ridiculous.
That's
I'm
just
not
'cause
putting a rocket
that's
in
just
the
because
air.
you don't get gassed and most of your shit is actually plugged in.
No,
But
I
anyways.
appreciate that.
But no, I do agree with you. But I also want to stress this enough. Bottle service is also turned drastically because everybody has access to 1942. It's not cool enough to have a bottle of 1942 because every female in a club is Snapchatting and Instagramming it. Back in the day, you got bottle service, you were videoing it, people were impressed.
I'm going to tell you
Now they know it's free, and now they know that you're hoarding, and now they know that it's all flex, and they stop buying it, really.
But
They
that's
just get
but that's
deals.
just but it's like a trend. It's like a fad that like we're holding on to. It's like, hey, do you remember when bars used to allow smoking? Hey, do you remember when you used to have a cigarette machine in bars? It's like all these trends, like stuff has changed, stuff has come and go. I know those are weird trends to name, but like let's just call it. Let's just fucking take out 20 of these tables, these big promoter rooms that are all promoter tables ever. Why not spend that money on stuff like digital media, advertising, right? What's your spend per head in a room like that? Do these guys calculate spend per head? Like, tell me the truth. I don't know.
I think we don't.
I don't know if they do.
Because we have-
But let's
because-
talk bigger corporate. Let's talk marquee.
Let's talk Marquee. If you want to talk,
Like, do you think a company like that like measures out spend
technically it's
per
Tagu.
head?
technically a stock group.
Right, but let's measure a major nightclub like that, and let's say,
Right.
do they measure spend per head? And if they realize that giving up a certain amount of table space,
I mean, they have to. Have you seen my DJ pay? They have to.
Jesus Christ. But I guess what I'm saying is, why not spend that on like advertising? You know, you can see cost per click. You can see so many metrics now, digital advertising you couldn't see in the past. Why not do that and get people that want to come to the club, as opposed to, and I'm not calling out just Marquee. I'm just saying, like, in general, in these mega clubs, right?
The objective
why
of
not?
Nightlife, the objective of Nightlife is
that
to get the people that want to get into the club not to get into the club. So
Right.
that the people that don't want to go reluctantly have to now go because no
Okay.
one else can.
Right.
You're selling exclusivity.
Right,
If
of
I can
course.
sell something to the person to the next of
course.
you for double the amount I can sell it to you, the only reason I can do that is because I told him that I can't
But
sell it to you. that I won't sell it to you.
exclusivity was amazing. Exclusivity was
none anymore.
amazing when you couldn't take photos in One Oak, and you didn't have cameras in One Oak, and you
Exactly.
couldn't fucking click the story button where you
Right.
press the little ticker
Right.
and the banner. You press One Oak, and you could see exactly what's happening in that
course,
room.
of course.
My mom at Christmas, there was a big fight in the mall in like suburbia, you know, and I'm like, watch, we can watch it right now. You tag the fucking mall, you go to places on Instagram, and you see all the idiots Snapchatting, and you can
Right.
see everybody fighting in the mall. My mom's like, wow, it's crazy. I'm like, so it's like that defeat. There is no exclusivity.
there's
Everybody's
kind of a-
famous.
But
now.
there's kind of a standard that has been set that you have to.
You got.
You have
Right.
to allow cameras because I mean, look at Output.
Sure.
Output literally vanished because you couldn't do that shit. Because Lil Becky
They
from
did not
Long
manage-
Island couldn't go to
that's-
Output and show her little stupid ass shuffle in her zebra
Output
tights.
Output did not close for that reason.
Output closed because
It
of
was-
high rent in the area. Also, them booking ridiculous amounts of artists they just couldn't afford at some point.
Also, not necessarily true. I hate to say.
Not hate
and
to
I
say,
know
say.
this.
Sorry, Rick.
I know this for fact. But like, why would you? And I can't say much about this. But basically, Output. It's like when you rent a club and there's no other clubs in that area, and you get that you get that lease at a certain price. And now you look at your liability and how much it costs to run a nightclub, and then you look at how much you can rent that property out for the next 26 years of your lease or whatever they have.
It's just not worth it.
It's not worth it.
No.
Because nightclubs, it's changed, you know, I guess. And
I agree with you.
You
I
know,
think
my point, I guess, to this is like, it's just like it's an old business model. There's still a lot of fun parties, man. There's still a lot. What disheartens me, there's a lot of fun parties. There's certain parties where I have a blast. I really do. But there's just those times, and I don't know about it. How long have you been? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Professionally, 6 years now?
Okay.
6 years?
I've been doing this now for 15.
Right.
And professionally for 13. I quit my
little more
job when I
time.
was 21. And I still haven't worked. I haven't had a normal job since then. So, yes, that dates me to 34.
Young 34.
Yeah, young 34. But I just remember coming home being excited all the time. And, like, now those nights are fewer and fewer in between. And I constantly keep asking myself at the end of the night, like, why do I still do this? But then I have one of those parties and it kind of carries me to the next one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And it's like those nights are getting fewer and fewer far between. And I really put a lot of thought, and Rick and I and a lot of my friends always have these conversations because we kind of all feel like that. And we're just wondering, when did this all change? Like, we woke up one day and we were like, wait, we're not. And I'm not saying it's work. We work our asses off. But like the party was always those 2-3 hours where it was actually fun. The rest of the shit's work.
I'll give you a two-prong answer. The first prong for me is the fact that number one, you are at a certain point where you have DJ'd a shit ton of parties.
It's true.
You understand?
It's
and
true.
Just like a baseball season, you're gonna have a 8-game home stretch, and then you're gonna have a 15 games on the road.
For sure.
And you know what? Dontrell Willis can't go 3 games in that series because he'll blow his arm out.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
And you're gonna blow your mind out by the amount of
Sure.
songs you're gonna have to play and keeping that rotation going.
You're right. You're right.
I'm gonna have
Now,
to,
I agree with
disagree.
you.
I'm still so in love
Now,
with what
I
I
do
do.
agree with you.
I love what I
You're
do,
also
too.
6 years in. As
I'm
he
so
said,
in
he's
love with what I
15
do.
years deep.
I love what we do too, and I'm not trying to take away from that because if I didn't love it, I would have stopped. But it's the parties that I'm not as happy with
I
anymore,
agree.
and the climate of where things are at that are not as fun anymore. It's just those moments where I'm truly losing track of time, and it just blows by, and I walk out of the club at the end of the night like, holy shit. Those are fewer and fewer in between, and a lot of the times I
it's a
have them is
business.
when I'm on the road.
It's a business now. It's a business.
It's
That's just what it
always
is.
been a business.
It hasn't though. But it hasn't. It hasn't been a business to where it is now. You're talking about billions of dollars now, son. You take New York City nightlife away from New York City, they're down
he's
a
saying
couple
that the energy
billion.
level is down. There's
I'm
no
just
energy in these
saying.
clubs. Fuck the money. There's no
Because
energy.
it's a business. It's dead ass a 9 to 5
Which is why you want to invest in your own business. Look, when I throw a party, I pay for CO2, I pay for confetti, I pay for extra.
Okay, well, if
for
this
extra
city was full of
decorations.
you,
That shit
if this
doesn't
city
get
was full of
covered.
you, we wouldn't be having this
Well,
conversation.
that's his point. His
We
point is
wouldn't
that
be
the
having this
investments are
conversation.
being made in the wrong
But that's-
places.
but that's
the
what I'm
investments
saying.
need to be made right.
Nigga, but
We
what
need
I'm
to
saying,
make right investments.
right? But
in
what I'm
nightlife.
saying is, yo, so you got, you know, so and so who's in a position of power, who's been a fucking herb. He's still a herb. Now he's just a rich herb, who is a grouch when he comes to work because why? He's never had fun. He just came from money. Now he's in a position of power where I don't give a fuck if DJ Mousetrap is fucking DJing my party. I don't care as long as I have my house in Southampton and my bag is
but
still secured.
As a DJ,
I don't give
you're
a
never
fuck.
interacting with the owner
I
on
don't
that
care.
level, really, especially because he said it's
Long
on
Island
the
again,
road.
I'm sorry,
This is a
Rick.
mental issue that DJs have to deal with within. Before you leave your hotel room, understand this isn't gonna be shits and fucking giggles. This might be a fucking shit night, but when that fucking Madison check comes and it clears, and Chachi signs the other side of it, and you guys get fucking paid, and you guys go buy Supreme, and then you go do a fucking photo shoot on the Brooklyn Bridge, and then you go to Kith, and you go shopping over there.
Right.
That's maybe when it all comes worth it. Just like somebody who has
Right.
a regular fucking business, goes fucking home, find something else fulfilling in your life, like Rumble, maybe a fucking kid soon. Who the fuck knows?
But my goal in this wasn't to chase money. I didn't sign up to this to get rich. If I wanted to get rich, there was a million jobs that pay better, have benefits, and do a lot. You know, I'm not here to chase money. I have other endeavors that I do that aren't fun, that pay, not porn. That would be classified as fun. Don't look at. He looked at me a certain way.
Or a hobby.
Or a hobby. But in all seriousness, like we got into this because we had a passion for it, and I don't think a lot of the people that are getting into it care about have a passion for.
You guys want to clap?
That's facts. That's facts. That's
That's
true.
super important.
And
I agree
like,
with you.
and with the business model changing and this just dire need to hold on to moving that one glorified table for X amount of money to pay for this entire event, fucks me up because it's like, yo, you don't have a fun party anymore.
Yep.
My girlfriend's 10 years younger than me. I'm gonna be real with you. She don't want to
You
come
got a girlfriend now?
Yeah, it's been
Anybody
a
that makes sense.
It's been like 9 months to a year. I just keep it off social. Not everything needs to be on Instagram.
Obviously.
But the reality is,
But
like,
every angle of Donnie does.
her and her friends are all good looking. They're your typical like 20-something-year-old girls, you know, and they don't even want to come. You know where they want to go?
To
wanna
bars.
They either want to go to a bar and have a low key night, or they want to go to Avant Gardner. They want to go to Output. They want to go to House of Yes. And I'll be like, yo, who's DJing? Because it will be DJ Mousetrap, because I think Mousetrap has put out a lot of good artists this year. Let's be real.
Wait, that's an actual DJ?
Mousetrap's Mouse.
Oh, I just came up with that
Mousetrap
name.
is actually Dead Mouse's label.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
What I'm trying to get at though is just that they're having fun at those parties.
Right.
And they're paying at the door. They're paying $60, $80. Like fucking Avant Gardner, sometimes it's $100 a ticket, bro.
Tiesto was $100 a ticket, bro.
And they have a 3,500 cap, and that shit is fucking packed.
But you know why?
So
but
what
you know
does
why?
that tell you about the climate?
You know why it's fun? Because there's nobody in that DJ's ear giving him numbers to paint by.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like yo, when we're left alone to do, when we come on the Function House, perfect example. When we come on the Function House, we do what we do.
Right.
We have the paintbrush and a blank
100%
canvas.
right.
You know what I mean?
100%.
In the night, you need to build an experience. No, shameless plug. You need to build an experience for people. Now, I mean, like, you need to bring people back to that first moment they got laid. You know what I mean? To the first moment they got drunk. You know, like.
But it's very
we
difficult.
can't do that no more.
But it's very difficult if you want to compare it restaurant-wise. Avant Gardner's that really expensive, nice sushi restaurant where you don't get to order and the chef just fucking gives you the sushi and you keep your mouth shut. And
you get what you get.
And where we work, Marty, is the equivalent of fucking Five Guys. You come in there and you get one fucking food. You know what I mean?
100%. And the moment you veer off, they're like, whoa, what are you doing?
And if you show up with your kid to Five Guys and they're not serving chicken fingers, because every motherfucker in a certain spot wants chicken fingers, and we don't serve that, you're going to get screamed at by the manager, the clients, and everybody. They want what they expect, and what they expect is rap caviar on Spotify.
Okay, well, number one, I'd say this off the rip. You're not a DJ that really gets booked in quintessential clubs in New York City. You've passed on those clubs, and I agree with you because of this reason that they do not really show the DJ utmost respect. And I understand where you're coming from. You don't see yourself as a DJ, you see yourself as an artist. Now, I see Blueface, I see guys like 6ix9ine, guys that don't like to rap but like to reap the benefits from it.
Sure.
And that's what you meant when you said, hey, DJs aren't doing this for love anymore. They're doing it so they can Snapchat themselves in a limo to AC. They're doing it for free dinners.
We didn't have that when I started.
They're doing it for an EPK. They're doing it for likes on Instagram. They're doing it to make money. And that's where, for you, there's a gap between passion and business.
And I think Chachi, I would imagine, you can nod if you want, but I feel like when we got into this shit,
He'll have his time,
it
don't worry about
wasn't about that. You know what I'm saying? Like we weren't getting shuffled around in limos. We weren't getting $25,000 Vegas residencies. It didn't exist. It wasn't even possible when we started. We just started because we liked doing it. You know what I mean? And that's what fucks me up is this young, I'm not going to complain about the younger generation because I love those kids. I think all of them are dope and they care about the craft. It's just that the things that they have to care about now are different than what we cared about when we started. And I understand why. There's no fucking ROI on being great at scratching, bro. You have the nastiest 2-click player I've seen in a fucking minute. What's the ROI on that, bro?
Doesn't matter.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't fucking matter.
Yo, I had the same conversation with somebody who has been around the block. Like when it comes to nightlife, I deadass had this conversation with him 2 nights ago. He's like, and he deadass look, the club is upside down.
Right.
He's ripping this club apart, right?
Right.
And he turns around and he looks at me. Like, I didn't even have my phone in my hand. This is how in love I am with this shit still. I didn't even, and
I get
ask
that,
anybody, my phone is never not in my hand. I mean?
Yeah, I got
and
that.
I'm just taking notes, and he deadass turns around to me and he's like, I don't even care about this shit no more, bro. He's like, I really wish I still had the passion that you do. Like we talk, and I'm like, yo, I really want to wear the city on my back. Like I want to represent New York City 100%. I want to be that nigga in New York. I mean, I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, and I'm not gonna stop till I get there.
Oh my God, you guys are ridiculous. You guys have the only fucking job in the whole fucking world. You show up for a fucking hour, you guys fucking get paid over 8 hours.
It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that, though.
You guys fucking show up and get paid.
It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. It's bigger
Every
than that.
single fucking
It's
night.
bigger than that.
No fucks given.
It's way
It
bigger
makes
than
no
that.
I agree.
difference.
I
what
agree.
happens.
Bigger than that.
Once you guys get to that fucking level, you guys get paid. And I don't fucking know how much you guys get paid. Okay, this is what I'm saying, man.
What are
you guys
you
mad?
talking about?
Hold up.
What are you
The
talking
come up
about?
to become a DJ is treacherous, and it's almost impossible to get to a point of hierarchy where you're comfortable. I agree. I think it's the most difficult thing to do in the world.
Right.
When in the world of nightlife, to get to a top DJ spot where you're getting paid residencies in this day and age, I think that's really hard. However, the fact that you guys are complaining about making $1,200 fucking dollars to $1,500 for fucking 2 hours and being fucking flown to fucking different countries, being toured around the fucking world, fucking meeting new fucking people.
Who
and we're
just
sitting
DJs
here
anymore?
in a
Hold on.
fucking-
But who just DJs anymore? Who just DJs anymore? Who just? It's dead ass a 24/7 job. Donnie, did you learn Photoshop because you wanted to? Did you learn Ableton because you wanted to? Did you learn Final Cut because you wanted to? Did you buy a camera because you wanted to? No.
I mean, and debt collector now.
Okay.
If I didn't have 4 AM, you got to be a debt collector to get paid.
Let me ask you a question, right? You're going to law school. You got to take fucking art. You got to fucking take a fucking prerequisite, right? You're going to fucking take the prerequisite. Go to fucking Party City. Go to the fucking library. Go wherever the fuck you got to go. Get your supplies. Come back. Check into fucking class and not complain. Everywhere you go, every job you do, you're going to need to fill the gaps in different ways to move up.
I don't have a problem with that.
So why are you complaining?
I don't have a problem with that. I'm not.
Your hair looks good. You're 34. You look like you're 25. What are we even talking about?
That's because he doesn't drink.
It's not that serious to me where I complain. I understand adapt to the times. I'm building a new brand. I get it. Like, I know things have changed. I did it with Salad Disco. I took it here and there. I'm not asking. It's not that fucking serious for us to go. We're not doctors. I understand it's not that fucking serious to go there and play Tatiana. I'm not going to lose my shit. You know, whatever the fuck you call it. I'm just trying to pronounce, you know. Like, it's not that bad to play a blue. How do you pronounce it?
You know what fucks me up, though? Like, this dude's like, your job is not that serious. Let it fucking snow, and he calls you and be like, yo, you still coming? The fuck you mean? Is this state of emergency?
When did I say your job wasn't serious? I said your job is getting paid for on a base salary from the venue before you walk into the door. But that means, my brother, all I'm saying is if you're getting the checks that people are getting that I know they're getting on the road, there shouldn't be a complaint. You know
And
where
I'm
you're
not-
going. You know where you've been. You've done it before.
I'm not getting no sex,
and
so
I'm not
I'm
here to complain about the money. I've never said once, oh my God, they just don't pay me enough. I'm so fucking good at this. Like, it's not that approach.
That's how you know Madison's way too good. That's how you know Madison's way too good.
Yeah,
You've
right.
never complained about
Bless
money.
Madison.
Madison's way too fucking good.
Because it's not, I mean, don't get me wrong, dude, our checks have diminished. I bet you the bartenders walk out more bread than we do.
100%.
100%. So it's like, and I'm not going to bitch about that. I'm not here to bitch about that.
New York City, I agree with you.
I'm
DJs
saying,
are underpaid to the
right.
max.
100%.
And I'm just saying that I think we're a couple of things, observing things about nightlife is the parties just aren't that fun anymore. I'm not asking to get my dick sucked in the booth and have the best time of my life every night at work, but let's be honest, energy levels a 3 out of 10. It's like fucking a dead fish in these places, man. And they want you to put it in. You know, let's be real. Sorry. This is why I'm on unfiltered.
Your analogy game is.
We've got to wrap this up. We covered a lot of fucking topics. A lot of topics.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
We have to wrap this up. We do want to end the show playing this little game that I came up with. Marty's gonna spin. Well, you're gonna pick a decade.
Oh fuck.
You're gonna pick a decade.
All right.
He's gonna play the beat, and you're gonna pick the song. Now, give him something.
What kind of game show is
that's
this?
Instrumental. You have decades to pick from. Now, I want to bring in Rick Wender and Scott as well for this game. So let's all get in here.
4 a.m. squad.
We're
You
gonna
give
go
the guys
4
some
a.m.
stools, like.
Can I get the mics, please?
Bring them by, my friend.
I'm Polish though, so I don't know if I'm
It's gonna put me on the
Well,
spot.
that takes me a while.
He said,
It's
I'm
gonna put me on the spot. Okay.
I want to look sophisticated.
No, he can't. They can't stand around me because they can't see the song.
No, it's them on this camera. What do you want, Rick or this?
2000s. Let's go. Run it.
2000.
Let's go. Run it. Alex Trebek not showing up with the questions. No instrumentals. Come on. What is this?
I still don't know what we're doing.
He's gonna play an instrumental. We gotta guess the song.
All right, so you guys pick it. So we're gonna do 3 separate questions. You guys are gonna pick a decade each.
I brought you up so much,
You
by
can
the
do
way.
2000.
Sorry.
That's his
Sorry.
fault. That's not
He's
his
here.
fault.
I can see him.
Little John.
Did I put you on the
That was a test run.
spot?
That was a test run. That was a test run. Next time we're gonna do shots, and we won't put you guys in the spot for that. We're going. We got Jet. You want to do some bomb, man?
You ready?
Can we get
All right,
pizza?
so we're gonna do we're gonna do 2000s, right? And I guess just the first person to come up with it.
We need like a wheel. You can spin it and it lands on a decade.
Next episode, man. Next episode we'll get the wheel. Next episode we'll do the wheel. We'll do everything.
Oh, fucking Black Rob. Black Rob.
Wow.
Fucking.
That's 2000? I thought that was 90.
That's not 2000. Is it?
It's literally 2000.
Okay, hold up. We're not gonna do no arguments. Okay, I'm gonna
Black
host
Rob
the show,
Whoa.
all right?
Whoa.
I'm gonna host this. Can you please?
What's the name of the song? It's Whoa.
All right, I got a good one.
All right, let's go.
What you got?
That was
Face
really
this
easy.
camera right here, guys. No. All right, let me do this right.
Oh my
here.
God, Common, the light.
Right
Aye.
here, in the middle, Rick,
Bye.
Shots right next to him, please.
Run it again.
Song.
That's 90s.
I need
I don't
a
know that song.
love like this. Make it hard.
Wait, how many of you thought Bobby Caldwell was black?
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna pick the decade. This is the decade of the 2000s. Got my DJ Marty Rock with me. You go, yeah. Where's my little flex bomb, man? Where's my flex bomb? Give me like a kick and free or something.
All right, so we're doing
2000s.
These are the sounds. These are the.
Sorry.
Wow.
I got it.
No.
It's Bad Habits, Dr. Dre. No, Bad Intentions? No, that's a Timbaland beat.
It's a
You
Timbaland
picked the
beat,
two.
yeah.
That's a sample. Because of a house song though.
It's a Timbaland beat. Jethro Tull sample.
It's not a house song.
No, it's not a house song.
Well, hold up, you guys.
That's a sample it.
It's a folk song.
Okay. All right. Well then, a house song sample. Then.
Oh,
it is. Okay, word.
Damn, no.
I don't know, but I know the record, man. It's that's
Is it
hard.
a song that DJ should know? Because I definitely didn't know that.
I know it. I heard it in old
Nah, I
mixes.
really-
It's dated now.
I've definitely never heard this.
I have
All
it.
right,
I have it on
Let's pick a
vinyl,
new
but nah.
Scott, pick a
It's
decade.
a great record.
90s.
Go 90s.
This is gonna be.
This is gonna be.
But this gets hard. The 90s.
That beat comes. Give me 90s, Marty.
That beat was fire.
Oh my god, I know all these fucking songs.
Snoop Dogg, Murder Was the Case.
I'm so bad at
What?
this.
Yeah, I'm terrible at this.
Snoop Dogg, Murder Was.
Are you terrible at this game? You edit songs.
Oh wait, that's not Murder Was the Case.
I play a mix when I DJ so I can Snapchat you. I don't know this.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. That's Jay-Z. That's Jay-Z.
You're killing
That's
me.
Jay-Z.
That's Outkast.
That's Jay-Z.
Come on, Scott's 2 for 3 out here. Scott's 2 for 3 out here.
He's killing me.
That's Jay-Z.
Winning it out here. Star, why don't you
Killing
pick a
me.
different decade?
I got an easy one. I got an easy one.
Oh, fucking
Miss
Most
Fat
Def.
Booty. Miss Fat Booty. Miss Fat Booty.
Most Def.
Miss Fat Booty.
It's what's that?
Miss Fat Booty.
Fat booty?
That
Miss
was
Fat
an easy
Booty.
one.
I thought that was
You don't know that song?
No,
Most Def.
you're so bad at this.
Damn. Guys, get a mitt and get in the game here. I'm
struggling on the
fucking,
show right now.
fucking killing you guys.
All right, Rick, pick a decade.
Cream.
I'm killing you guys.
Rick, pick the decade. Pick the decade.
2017.
2010, 2019.
That's not
Recent.
a decade.
Recent.
I told you I'm
I'm gonna pick one after this and we'll wrap it.
Me and you are gonna struggle picking tasteful recent records.
I got the Creed anthem playing in my head right now to get me hyped.
Tasteful recent
Off
record.
the steps.
No, not Rocky, Creed.
Booking on the interstate, I'm bailing with them bricks.
Oh my God, I play this song every Sunday.
If you don't know the, if you
Dude, I'm so bad at this, man.
I thought you guys would be great at
I never heard that song before in my life.
Oh, I can't remember the name. I can't remember the name, but I know this. I love
I
that
know
song.
like all these fucking songs.
What? There it is.
Yeah, word.
episode.
Well, how about Don?
Appreciate you guys for coming out today. Thank you guys so much. Round of applause.
I got one for
I know that
Shoot
one.
me in the face, fam.
I know like
Cut it out. Like,
I'm the same way. I'm like, I know that song.
They should take it to 10.
I got hoes calling a young nigga phone. Where's Ollie with the motherfucking dog? I be ballin' like a motherfucking pro. I be ballin'.